versus Timber is not very good. Did we see the odds, by the way?
Oh, I may have missed the odds, unfortunately.
I was looking
on
at
that
you.
one. I was just getting so caught up in the moment, being able to break that down. That I don't see the little pop out in the corner of my eye. I'd be curious to see, though, if it was Beastcoast favored still, even after what happened in the previous game, or if FURIA have managed to kind of get the odds a bit closer to even, because today they are looking like they ate a powerful breakfast and they're ready to go.
Yo, production, text me the odds. I kind of want to know.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay, so the odds are still... I think they even moved further away from FURIA.
1.5 for Beastcoast.
To 2.6?
2.6
okay.
of
Last time it was
FURIA.
1.4 to 2.8.
Okay.
So,
okay.
it's not bad.
Not as much as I was I would have expected this to be pretty much an even draw, even before seeing the draft, just because FURIA seemed to be really on their game.
Yeah, I really like FURIA's draft, actually.
Now, who needs to step up and perform for FURIA? Last game, Sexy Fat had everything he could ask for on that Mars. Is there as much hinged on him this game to perform on the Timbersaw, or is that going to be delegated elsewhere to step up?
I think the Timber always has to have a good game. It's just the way that the hero plays is ideally he has a good laning phase start, as Heiko might actually go down here. He's getting really low. Both the supports are chasing him down. He hasn't leveled anything yet.
They have another Q, but he snowballs out from it. And
really sick dodge.
You know, he has to start with a snowball, but does save his own life.
All right, here's the downside of when you're playing this matchup is they can actually, or they want to tri-lane against the Timbersaw because it's so hard for the Oracle plus PL to do anything to him. If you allow this Timbersaw to hit level 3 at a reasonable time, I will say that your laning phase, at least in this top lane, is over. He's going to get everything that he wants.
Oh, Heiko trying to go for the creep pull.
And he's going to die here for this one.
Yeah, and that long-ranged Q snipe from the Oracle locks him in place. He eats a lot of creep damage. And with the follow-up, Loyalist will get the first blood.
And mid lane, this is not that good of a matchup for Chris Luck. In fact, I would say that it is really one-sided for the Death Prophet. Yeah,
the mid lane Mirana, not one you get to see too often these days, Blitz. What are the perks for? I know there's a lot potentially against it, certainly in this matchup, but...
Oh, Murdoch has to be careful. He's messed up. He did not want to be in that corner area. He actually could have maybe died there. He's kind of baiting right now on the Starstorm, but... he will die if he's not careful. And he's missed quite a bit of CS there.
Top, we have trouble potentially as well. The Sexy Fat is on the pull out, and they get it done.
All right, good tri-lane so far by Beastcoast. They need to do this, but this is going to be a full creep wave that is missed by the PL. And Kunkka at bottom has a total of 1 CS. That is correct. You heard me right.
1.
They blocked the pull. By the Tusk, he can even snowball to that creep.
Oh, Murdoch mid lane! Oh, goes down.
What?
Yep, Chris Luck. Not even with an arrow. Just shoots him down. He got early nuke damage. Yeah, early bit of nuke damage, and then on the run back, Chris Luck managed to get a nice uphill hit and just ran her down. I guess, when you're DP, and DP you see a lot of play in the mid lane, and maybe these days, but how often are you practiced going against someone like a Mirana, I guess? Yeah,
that's pretty disastrous, I'd say. The mid lane matchup is supposed to be very DP favored. We saw that he messed up and he took like 4 tower hits, but even with that, you just back up salve, reset. I guess he didn't want to give up his advantage in the lane. I would say Mirana as a hero is very good she has really good nuke and tempo. She used to be the counter to Terrorblade, the old one where you would go for the Aghanim Scepter and you just jump in after an arrow and immediately nuke him down. Because you're very good at clearing the illusions with Starstorm.
Yeah. Touching base here, bottom lane. Duster and Schofield obviously going toe-to-toe as supports on the side, but the real story is RDO 18-12 to Kunkka's 5-0. Whisper obviously going to have a bit of a slower start while RDO is getting all he could ask for with his buddy Chen nearby. Oracle migrating to the mid lane too.
They don't actually have kill potential on this Kunkka. Like I don't think Chen plus TB is going to be very good at killing it.
Yeah.
But... right now, laning phase-wise, it's not going bad at all for Beastcoast, and I'd say a lot of it is individual errors. But now that the Timbersaw has hit 3, he doesn't really need this Tusk. If anything, I would like to see this Tusk rotate towards bottom.
Yeah, we currently see more rotations coming out from supports at Beastcoast here. Oracle and Nyx have been dancing around all the lanes. They head back bottom just in time to bail out Whisper, who is just limping away from what was potential trouble. We see the metamorphed RDO. I'm sure he had a say in that.
Yeah, 1 HP. As Heiko does manage to grab the ward, and he's going to pop himself the rune just because Murdoch doesn't need it.
Okay.
This is another benefit, I guess, of the matchup is normally no one trades favorably into Spirit Siphon, but I guess Mirana can because she can just hit a few times and then leap away.
Yep.
And you have more leap charges than she has Siphon charges. And this is further even like worse just because of that solo kill. Like, he's out of Siphon charges, which is how you're supposed to gain a lot in the laning phase. And Chris Luck is dominating mid now on the heels of that solo kill. Bottom lane, though, this is probably going to be a kill.
Yep, stun out from Schofield. Laylis still only level 1 on the Oracle, though.
Oh, okay.
Means he has no damage with Purifying Flames. Quite surprised to see that. Nothing to cake on top. You know, I was like, oh, maybe he's getting close to level 3, because when you get that level 2 of Purifying Flames, that's when you can really snipe some kills unsuspectedly. But he's just been moving around so much that he's not even hanging around long enough to get XP.
I would say that this PL doesn't need help at top anymore, and Oracle has nothing to do against Sexy Fat. Like, Timbersaw, what are you supposed to do against this hero? You're just going to watch him farm?
Yeah. Definitely has a hard time finding a place to call home. I'm sure once the first kill's drawn in his proximity, he'll get a big boost of XP, but in the meantime, he's just got to be careful not to be free food here, as he is eyeballing this mid lane behind Murdoch a bit.
He's still only level 1. He's about to hit 2 off of this, but their tri-lane shenanigans did not help him at all. He is out of XP range right now. It looks like he wants to set up for a kill here. Murdoch.
Catapult time. Arrow could be there from Chris Luck. Shoots it out with the Q. It's going to land, but Heiko shows himself from the corner, and they just run forward looking to go for Laylis here. Laylis does get to that level 2, but he's still so squishy that Soul Siphon should suck him on up.
I don't even know if that's that worth. This kill is probably bigger.
Duster just walks in, gets taken down.
Duster's level 3, so this is going to be a pretty big kill. And Chris Luck's going to get the kill on the Death Prophet too.
Yes, yes, he will. Nice burst of damage there, and they're going to get it done.
I will say that solo kill has hurt this Death Prophet's game so much. Like, everything is just delayed. He's getting out leveled right now.
Oh, bottom lane. All right, nothing too serious, but yeah.
This is hard to watch right now because I really feel like Murdoch has to be pretty tilted. He just got outplayed. Not much doing. As Heiko with his double damage rune, he actually doesn't have a level of tag team, so this is a lot worse of an attempt.
Fight me, cowards.
Oh, he shoots that out.
Yeah, I'm sure there's no salt behind that one right now, but
Fight
he
me, cowards.
is the big breadwinner, I guess, of the early laning stage, still being at 45-21 on the Terrorblade, and hasn't had too much of an opposing threat here, maybe courtesy of Duster being around, but yeah, we were expecting a bit more from some of the other lanes here for FURIA, given the matchup on paper, and now they have to kind of pull it back somehow. I don't know if that's going to be on the back of Tusk moving around looking for setups, but as you mentioned, without tag team and him being only level 2, that's not going to be easy at all.
Yeah, I think on paper, all 3 lanes should win from FURIA, which should be a pretty straightforward win after that then. Like, you win all 3 lanes, you have this Timbersaw against this Phantom Lancer, and then you have like the better defensive supports to back up. And then the game should be pretty straightforward, but instead, because of the solo death, and it feels like I'm stressing it a lot, but it has had such a big impact. Like, imagine if this Mirana wasn't almost level 8, she probably doesn't make this move as easily. Instead, she's going to run into the jungle, potentially find this
Q and
Terrorblade.
Arrow is all you need, and here comes the Q. It's kind of far, though, and they're not going to be able to line up the Arrow.
All right. Chris Luck just decided he was going to go for, like, the max duration. Just went a little bit too far, as the mid tower's now getting assailed. They don't have anybody here for this.
Might have been a good opening opportunity for Murdoch to try to just lay in some heavy damage while they did step away. Even Duster showing up.
And they're going to want to commit to this tower.
And Heiko is even below the level of the Oracle at this point. Still hasn't even got to his own level 3. Unfortunate.
Yeah, both supports. If anything, I think Heiko messed up a little bit. I think he should be bottom because there's kill potential there. How many times have we seen the Kunkka run away with 100 HP?
Yeah.
And he would be the difference maker in that situation. And instead, this Kunkka is having a relatively decent laning phase despite the fact that he's been solo for a large majority of it, and I think that's in large part and almost entirely due to the fact that Heiko is top.
Okay, top lane. Here we go. Snowballing forward. Sexy Fat now near level 8. Trying to rip through the Nyx assassin here. And they'll eventually have his number. Sexy Fat picks that one up and could help being a good mid-game deciding factor for FURIA to regain control of this game. I guess for now he's going to just set his sights on finishing off this top tier 1, which is a good score in itself for FURIA. That opens up a lot for them in the top. And a big thing why some people, I hear at least, argue that Radiant is the better side is that being able to have that top tier 1 takedown means you open up the top lane naturally and you have Roche in the proximity. Just makes it really nice.
Yeah, for Dire to do the same, they actually have to take up to the tier 2 tower on top to have the same effect.
Yeah.
Because you won't have the outpost, and so it's not that easy for you to get to that tower. And if you save mid tower on the side of Radiant, you can always contest for Roshan too.
All right, it's 10-minute outpost time. Radiant lost their outpost on the bottom at risk of potentially having nothing here at the top.
Find an angle.
They can't do it. They do manage to grab it just in time.
All right, they get 1 for 1, and that was really smart by them. They split up, and it forced Schofield to run all the way around. And Schofield is creating a ton of space, even if they get the kill here, which they most likely will. Actually, it's RDO here, and he doesn't really want to be
yeah,
in this
like,
position.
Guys, where's this guy coming from?
Now
Give
RDO
it to Terrorblade.
hit.
Give me the free kill.
This was a ton of space.
Yeah,
that's 5 heroes, or 4
insane.
heroes chasing him.
That's galaxies right there. My goodness. Whisper still has been just holding strong bottom lane, recovering from the awkward laning phase of the 1v1 against Terrorblade, which he's lost, but since he hasn't been brought down and stopped, really, he'll just kind of keep coasting through the bottom lane, now take a tier 1, and when he does show up to these fights, he'll bring a punch.
I think this is bigger for a Whisper than it is for the Terrorblade, or the Timbersaw, to have a good laning phase.
Yeah.
Heiko is just going to get right-click down. I think he might die here. I don't really see him surviving. He's going to dodge the second Starstorm, but he's out of mana.
Can he ankle break this one somehow? Whoa! Oh, oh.
Oh, wow.
I'll at least make him work for it. I'll make him work for it.
This is unbelievable.
Oh my gosh, he's juking himself!
Okay. There was really nowhere for him to go, but that was pretty good.
At the same time, top lane, they do manage to get a hold of Schofield, and they quickly segue into Murdoch's Exorcism and decide to take the tier 2.
That's pretty sick. That was well done. He probably set up for this kill on this tower just by expending that much time, but the Death Prophet is always kind of in this like holding pattern of trying to catch up into the game.
Yep.
Now Timbersaw is actually just pressing forward. Yeah. It looks like they want to use the full duration of this Exorcism.
Feeling confident that he's the strongest in the game, or at least the most durable. And then they have to pump the brakes. Oh, Phantom Lancer, Diffusal in hand now. I didn't notice when that was picked up, but you know, Hector is no joke in the damage now if he does decide to participate. And a mech for Duster, and he's also super close to level 6. So you're talking about a hefty burst of sustain in these fights coming up.
Yeah, they are really under level.
Whisper in trouble. Whisper. That was started with a good shard block there. He's forced to summon the boat. They sidestep it, but it's still got the rum effect. And Whisper will be able to fend off any potential trouble now. Looking to Sexy Fat. Swing and a mix. Swing and a miss on the stun.
They're so under leveled on, like all the supports this game are under leveled.
Yeah, they're moving so much. And just, I guess just letting the cores really have the bulk of the lane farm while they are busy attending to their other cores who are potentially in danger or attacking the other supports. Here they go again.
Show himself
mid.
Heiko is not really the target that they...
But here comes the supports from the trees and behind. They make their move onto Duster. He flexes the mech. He does have that hand of God. No, he doesn't. He doesn't have the mana. He has to pop the clarity. But they're just going to chase him down. Chris Luck goes all the way to the high ground to take care of him. Help him out, buddy. Move in with the snowball. He's still not popping the clarity yet. But he does end up dropping.
Heiko's probably going to die for that too.
Yep.
One more right click would do it, but a silence. Look at this. Chris Luck was looking for the angle to maybe shoot the arrow in, but isn't going to waste his mana. And a tip for Heiko, and that was a lot of time wasted. This is going to be just time that RDO is farming. Murdoch didn't really have to participate beyond just throwing out a silence. And he's got the full SNY now.
Nice that little SNY build-up. Sexy Fat, meantime, is top by himself. Does sidestep the approach of Beastcoast there. But, my goodness. It's starting to feel like things are tipping back more on an even plane. Since Duster did not have the opportunity to use the Hand of God in that previous exchange, he does still have it here for any sort of potential fight coming up. Murdoch with Exorcism online. I imagine FURIA would like to find some use out of it.
I think they actually want a Roche because they grabbed the tier 2 tower at top. I think Roche is probably the easiest, or they smoke up right now and play behind this Timber Saw. It's one of the two. But I don't know how much value the Timber Saw has at top anymore, but I would like them to maybe smoke and either try to get a pick off into going for like a high ground early on, or go for Roche themselves.
Here we see Phantom Lancer kind of tie up with PL, or sorry, Phantom Lancer tie up with the TB, who had been farming through that jungle. Beast Coast 1 own territory really is the southern half of this map, and they want to try to hold it to the best of their ability.
Sexy Fat's out of mana.
15 minutes coming up, and they want those outposts. Pull back on the Sexy Fat, and as you mentioned, has really no mana to work with. They step forward, the mech's going to be there. Now the Exorcism to fly out while PL chases down the Chen in the back lines, is able to finish him off. Schofield gets a bailout there from the False Promise. Did they dish out enough damage, though? Well, Sexy Fat steps in to help get the cherry on top, and that is going to be good enough. Meanwhile, Heiko up in arms. Huge Starfall damage comes through, and it's dominating now for Chris Luck.
Chris Luck, off of that solo kill in mid, has really made this hero work for him so far. Is going to almost have a Maelstrom. It's pretty good damage, and they don't really have the best lockdown for this Mirana. And that's why the laning phase matters even more. The ghosts are being spotted. Murdoch has to be careful. He doesn't have Exorcism, and I think they anticipated winning that fight a little bit harder, but without mana on Sexy Fat or this Terrorblade, wasn't really able to do so. He's going to need a BKB. Everyone's really going to need BKBs here.
Sexy Fat was unfortunately like the front punching bag for that fight. May have assisted in defending out some of his other teams, but without FURIA being able to dish out any offensive factor in that fight, you know, that's great for Beast Coast. Beast Coast have that lineup that would be happy to push this into later rounds.
And look at this. If you just see Whisper's farm, it's overtaken the Timber Saws, who had such a good laning phase. And this is why I really feel like Heiko messed up a bit, because I think he would have liked to have focused on killing Whisper at bottom. Those 2 times he got out with like 100 HP, imagine if he dies there. That just helps the Terrorblade. It forces the Kunkka's game to be horrible, because there's nowhere really for the Kunkka to go in this game, and so his laning phase mattered so much.
Okay, mid lane, he's got an opportunity here for Chris Luck to make a move onto the DP. Assistance does show up with the snowball, but they still eat a hard shot from the boat. Here comes the Hand of God. Chen trying to bail him out. They're still on the chase, looking to go for Murdoch, and he's able to bail out from the backhand corner. Now Duster eating a bit of the damage. Jumping from Sexy Fat, but he gets hit immediately with the stun. They finish off little Duster. And Beast Coast decide to pump off a bit. But
yeah, and Murdoch actually dies.
Hector comes in from behind and
they gotta
snipes
get out.
down Murdoch, and that is not who you want to toil in these fights. So quickly, FURIA decide to run. Nice little shard block. Gives him just a bit of space. Is it going to be enough? It does not look like it. He's forced to snowball and maybe try to just pull their focus. But he will certainly go down. Killing spree for Hector. Beast Coast starting to rise up a bit.
Yeah, Beast Coast is getting really fat now. I don't really know what FURIA's play is. And the sad thing is, we're going to watch the replay here, as he timed it, but in fact does get hit by the arrow. He did have a bottled invis, so he does live as a result of that. But I was just going to say, it's really unfortunate because you don't really know what your lineup scheme was supposed to look like, just because there were so many individual deaths on the side of FURIA. So you can't really tell anymore if this is what the mid game was supposed to look like. Because I would imagine they thought they were going to have like 3 really good lanes, turn that into like TB pushing really early with a Chen and a really fat Timber Saw behind him. Then all of a sudden, like, you're in a really good spot.
Yeah, but as we know, things didn't unfold quite that way. I was expecting maybe at least, you know, Sexy Fat's Timber Saw to still be able to show up. But in the last 2 fights, he's been a no factor. You know, the first fight he was caught out early and lost all his mana. This past fight shows up a little tardy to the skirmish, but as he jumps in, just gets stunned and locked down immediately, and really didn't offer any sort of extra DPS when he is, you know, only 1 of 3. If the Terrorblade even shows up of damage, he needs to have that damage available. Okay, chase on potentially here for Murdoch. Oh, Whisper moving in. Manages to snipe the X.
And he's just going to get stunned right after. And the arrow hits too.
Follow up. Lockdown's there. Snowball to the low ground is pretty cute, but
He's so low.
there's no chance of
I don't know how they
survival.
fight anymore. They have no catch, whereas Beastcoast have like 10 different stuns. Like this lineup was really meant to snowball and win. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Like Gay was supposed to win around this time. They were supposed to have like a 5k gold lead off of the laning phase, taking all their tier 2 towers, and then RDO gets to play the exact same game he did last game, where he just comes in with his big fat Terror Blade, 2 shots everybody after farming for 20 minutes. Game over, go play the finals.
Not the case here, though. While RDO is still able to kind of farm in his own right, because Beast Coast are able to now take it to FURIA and win these fights and have Hector participate and take kills. The man is 5-0-3 on this PL. He is now the big pig of the game. Highest net worth. 12K, bottom. Fight for the 20-minute outpost.
They can't kill him. Like, this is impossible for them to kill him. If he gets silenced by the Death Prophet, then if the Oracle is there to purge it off, he'll just sleep away, and they don't have any sort of gap close for him.
Here we go. 6 fat on the chase here for Whisper. They don't have any way to stop him. Oh, as they say that, though, a shard block is there. Very nicely done. It does earn them the takedown.
Oh, this could be huge. If they get 2 kills here, and then they could walk into Roshan.
That's a lot of momentum.
Yeah, this would be pretty massive for them.
To the high ground.
Yep.
They get him.
All right, go
for the
Roche.
Roche. Go for the Roche. They have Exorcism. Do they want to use it?
I think
or just save it.
Maybe save because you pop the meta, and you only pop it if there's a fight from the side of Beast Coast.
That would make sense.
But this was pretty huge, actually. Maybe they can just still, B5 and push with their Aegis. They're probably going to have to wait for the Terrorblade to have meta up again. And just look at that win probability and everything associated with it. Everything's just gone straight down. That was the first 2 kills that I think I've seen Furia get in the past, like, 10 minutes.
Yeah, certainly feels like it's been a hot run for Beast Coast for quite some time. And that was the best thing Furia had going for them. Now, Beast Coast, not like they're all picking their noses during that. PL was farming up pretty nicely there. He pockets his Reaver for now as he builds closer to getting up that heart and being a real tanky problem. And at that point, like, who is going to be able to really burst down this PL? You're going to have to go for some sort of Sunder shenanigans, it feels. It's just going to be so tough.
Yeah, they don't really have the easiest way to kill this hero. I'm not really sure.
Do like 6 Fat did manage to finish out that Lotus as they charge with it to the mid lane on the back of a snowball and will insta burst down.
Dude, Schofield has not had a good 2-game series. Let me say, he is died. That is the best way to put it.
He's
but
definitely been beaten hard. He's that first character in Punch Out, What's his name? I don't know. It's like
you want me to Google it for you?
Slippery Joe or something like that. He's that first guy you fight in Punch Out right now, and you just would be embarrassed.
Glass Joe.
Glass Joe, that's it, not Slippery Joe. Mid lane Duster. Oh, man, he loses nearly all of it. Oh, he does lose all of his life. My God, Chris Luck sniping him down from the outskirts, forces the mech pop. Whisper now rolling in on the back of a Moonlight Shadow, but no target acquired as Furia quickly disperse. Oh, as I say that, they have spotted Sexy Fat. He's going to be forced to chain to the high ground, but they have an X-Torrent waiting for him. Snowball's there. Nice job. Nice bailout from Heiko. Glass Joe. That's right.
Who's the boss in this game? It's Mike Tyson or something?
In Mike Tyson's Punch Out, it was Mike Tyson. But then, like, I don't know if they had the license after that, and they had to change the boss.
I see. Then they changed it?
Yeah, there's someone else. I
Is
can't
it
remember.
Rick Bruiser?
Maybe. I know, like, Mr. Sandman was one of the later bosses.
There's a character named
Soda
Pizza Pasta.
Pizza Pasta.
And he
What's
was
the over-under that they made him Italian?
He was from Napoli, Italy.
Yeah, okay, there it is. Good old Nintendo. All right, we have a congregation here from Furia on the bottom lane. They have done smoke after gank. It looks like it's totally been a call to action here.
During the time that they got this Aegis, by the way, they've actually gained in gold on the side of Beast Coast. Like, Beast Coast has just continued to push their lead further after they got 2 kills in an Aegis, and it's just because this Phantom Lancer and this Mirana have been farming. And in fact, Whisper has overtaken the Mirana, who's had this great laning phase. I don't think Mirana's even died this game, and yet he's just pushing out lanes really aggressively.
Yep.
But again, I said I kind of lacked, or I thought they lacked the damage to take fights.
They tried to maybe bait out the Timber Saw here.
Oh, he's still alive. He's gone.
Schofield this time manages to make it away. Not this time, fools! And now it could be Heiko in a bit of trouble.
Heiko is dead, and they have no way to deal with this Phantom Lancer, and that's why K1, even though he sees the Aegis on the other side, he's going to take this fight.
He's just running at them. Murdoch forced to dish out the Exorcism. Duster on the run back. No more Hand of God, no mechanism. He is just a man on an ape.
This fight's
and
done.
He is done for. RDO fighting for it. Also has no mana. He has an Aegis, but I imagine he will be dead twice over. Sexy Fat says, good luck! Says, see you later. RDO, unfortunately, laughing it up.
He's got BKB TP. So we'll see if they can burst him, but I don't know.
Arrow
if they can.
timing not right.
Oh, they actually hit the
straight up stun him.
The Nick stun timing.
He tries to,
he's
he does
gonna
a
pop his
sunder.
TP. I think he's dead.
No, he went to the wrong spot. That would have a longer TP also. Because of that Timber Saw bailout, it made the TP low. I think he would have died regardless, but
I think he might have lived. That extra second really, that's pretty depressing. Well, now we don't know.
Oh, man.
It doesn't
Now,
matter.
speaking of Sexy Fat, who even used that early TP, headed back to the mid lane, will still die for his efforts. And Heiko, Snowball's right in front of him, maybe trying to go for the save, but they're just hemorrhaging kills now.
Yeah, K1 is way too big, and they have no way to kill him. And I kind of put this game a lot on just, again, the fact that they couldn't snowball off their lanes. I think Heiko really should have started bottom. All he did going top was feed away 2 kills, and then Whisper had a really good laning phase anyways. And then Chris Luck, of course, killing Murdoch. That probably didn't make life easier either.
Yeah, hard to still say if that's just Chris Luck really stepping up on his Mirana, or, you know, if it's the lack of experience of Murdoch going against Mirana in the mid lane on DP. Whatever the case may be, that was unexpected, and we can see the benefits of it still panning out now. Orb of Destruction and a Paladin Sword as tier 3 items begin to drop. Oh, that's a nice little item to have on PL, the Orb of Destruction. Yeah, it's kind of hard to say what FURIA can do at this point. Their snowball factor and their Sexy Fat Timber Saw is more like him being a bit pinata as we see his candy potentially fall out here in the mid lane. Oh no, Hector has Mercy. Steps off a bit. But I think Beastcoast are feeling more comfortable now that the heart's complete. And PL's feeling pretty decked out.
I don't know if he wasn't feeling comfortable at any point this game.
Right. I mean, with what he had to do. Feeling comfortable with moving forward in the progress of the game, I guess you could say.
I think he thinks, maybe rightfully so, that this game is unlosable. Hector would have to really throw. And I can't stress that enough. He'd have to really throw this game.
Sexy Fat runs himself out. It's Heiko who gets stunned up. Oh, I thought the arrow may have potentially caught Sexy Fat, but not the case. They're just on the run. FURIA maybe trying to, you know, like we all are now, step outside just real quick to get a couple of groceries, and then they head back inside. It is full quarantine here for FURIA as Beastcoast come knocking on the door and start taking away at their base here. And it's starting to look certainly like we'll be going to a game number 3 for the semifinal. Unless FURIA can somehow hold the line. Can Beastcoast throw this one away somehow? We'll see. Duster, see you later. Oh, Snowball.
Ah, he's going to live for this time
Hang out with me in here for just a little bit. Just enough time for him to get the mech off, but ultimately it's the same story. Hector will take down little Chen and take the tier 3, and look, what is this? They're backing up? They're thinking that they want to take Roche? No, no, no.
Oh, it's the wave. They don't have a wave.
Oh, they don't have a wave. That pesky Terrorblade. He's pulled the mid lane back.
Drat.
They get just a little more time. Ardio's back on the grind already. He unfortunately had to use his BKB twice defensively. That much fewer seconds or even whatever holdout defense they could have.
Mindbreaker now by the Mirana too. Oh man, he's got the Torrent Storm. He's just having a good time. He's taking the plus 120 torrent damage too.
Oh yeah, Torrent Storm.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I was in my mind, I was ready for the multiple boats again. I don't know why. Just forgetting another changeover of the old Agnum Scepter here. Here they go. Plucking away at the racks. Doesn't feel very hype or anticlimactic. It's just kind of like this is Beastcoast doing what they've earned for themselves through the laning phase now and just growing themselves into this giant. Let's see, FURIA just scratching at them a bit, but knowing that they only have potentially one final hurrah, maybe some buybacks to dish anything out.
Yeah, Hector hasn't died this game. Chris Luck hasn't died this game. Whisper had that one death that was unfortunate, but other than that, like core-wise, majority of the deaths just really belong to like Schofield.
Right? Yeah.
He's 6 out of 9.
Which I'm sure he's grinning over this whole game. It's no big deal.
Yeah, he's had a good time. When you get to feed like this and you win, it just feels nice, you know? You participated. You showed up. Your teammates did their job. You just wasted some time.
Okay, a battle for Outpost. 30-minute Outpost. Radiant, they really want it. They're not going to get it. Yules. And now Murdoch going to get chased down. FURIA may just lose this one, being outside their base, as Beastcoast have been able to quickly show up once they heard FURIA members have stepped out from their safety net. Let's get them, boys! And
all
they
right.
quickly plop down 2 mighty cores. Timber does not have a buyback for nearly a minute.
I would have to think that RDO might want to say like he wants to fight one more time.
Yeah.
And then if nothing happens from there, I think they'll probably call. Oh, no, he's fine.
Oh my gosh,
man.
the procs, he was actually forced asunder his illusion.
And he hit the arrow on the target
if
that
they
I don't think
push
he
right
expected.
now, he won't even have a sunder for the fight.
Chris Luck just found Heiko with that arrow.
Chris
Ooh.
Luck bringing some interest back to this mid lane Mirana, maybe?
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe
it
some
looks
people
very
watching
good.
from the outside like, huh, mid lane Mirana, huh? Looks
he
pretty
got a
fun.
lot of kills.
He makes it look fun, too.
He did.
It looks like a lot of
Another
fun.
arrow. Just for good measure.
She just got back. Snowball. But it's no good. There's the buyback for DP. Buyback for the Tusk.
No meta, no Sunder. Now he's using
BKB's
BKB.
over, yeah.
This is the exorcism from the Death Prophet. She's got to be a little bit careful, though. I think she got nailed by another arrow.
Oh, my goodness. This is it. The final march now from Beastcoast here. Looking to put a lid on it. Nice little silence. Does force him to back off a bit. Now Whisper
Here's the Torrent Storm.
charging in with the Storm of
it's just
Torrents
hitting
flying
everywhere.
all over the place. Look at it. Oh, my God. Moby Dick unleashed. GG's called, and that will do it. And really, was there any other way that this could have panned out?
No, it
Even
had to go
though
3.
You look at the drafts on paper, and you could think that FURIA got